my favorite episode of NaijaBoy and Yankeegirl. We're here with my brother, Jimmy Odukoya.
A to the O.
Like, you know what I'm saying? This man means a lot to me, y'all.
Us?
A lot,
You mean a lot to us?
a lot to me.
No, to
Because
her.
I had him first, and came second.
Yeah, you listen, Simmy, you just came. The reason why I
Don't
will know
roast
your
me.
name
Don't
is
roast
because
me.
Tasha. Okay, let's get it
Talk
right.
about it with his little
Listen,
rainbow shorts.
listen,
You know
you
what I'm
little
saying?
rainbow shorts,
So
and your
now you're
little
gonna go there, right?
little knee-high boots covered in
When
your little spandex t-shirt. Okay, I'm like, who this dude?
I'm
who is this
I'm
guy?
cutting this
Like,
part
Guy.
off. I'm cutting
And
this
then
part off.
and then you went back, and then he just never left. And I'm
he
like,
never left. He never left. They've been stuck with him since. Like,
yeah.
okay, so brother, we want to talk. We want to talk about the Woman King, but in like the whole thing of it all, the whole ambiance of the Woman King. Our topic today is what makes a woman king.
Oh, good Lord
Mm.
Jesus.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to do a spinoff on, we're gonna talk about the movie and stuff a little, but I wanted to do really a spinoff on it because you really dope at relationships,
Yeah.
and you have a whole body of strong women that's around you, including sisters, everything, like starting with mama all the way down to baby girl. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted you to talk about what, because queen people use the term queen so loosely, but I feel like women are kings too. And then the title of the movie just was a perfect spinoff for the title. So I want to talk about today, in your opinion, what makes a woman king, and then we'll just go from there. It's just convo, ain't no interviewing, ain't no none of that because you family, so it's just like regular talk. So in your opinion, I'll ask you and Sam, but Jim go first. In your opinion, what makes a woman king?
First of all, can I just say that um this is gonna be so off the cuff. Like this is a deep, like Tasha, like it's a deep conversation. That's a deep. I said, ooh, what makes a woman king? It's like,
Yeah, and what makes a woman king?
oh,
Jim, you've been around so many phenomenal women. Like,
yeah,
even your baby girl is phenomenal. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's a reflection of the women that you've been around for her to be as dope as she is at her age. So
yeah.
what makes a woman king? Like, your mama
Um,
was phenomenal. Like,
I think there's so many things that come into play when to answer this question. I think is very layered, and I think, but it all starts with you have the conversation about nature versus nurture, right? And I think that comes to play as far as development. The environment that you grow up in is very important, um,
mm-hmm,
especially when you talk about from the perspective of a woman or a female. A girl, baby becomes a girl and the girl child becomes a woman. But what makes her who she is as a woman is largely dependent on her experience as a child, as a girl child, right? The family she was brought up in, the relationships she had, the room that she was given to hone her identity and have the freedom of expression, the relationships that reinforced confidence and safety and security, having people in her life that spoken to her and kind of groomed her and allowed her to grow. It's almost like we can't talk about what it takes to be a tree without understanding what it takes to be a plant. Like what
mm,
happened to your seed? Let's start from the seed. What soil were you planted into? Were you watered? Were you nurtured, right? Were you exposed to the right elements, the sunlight and the air that you need to grow? And then that seedling becomes a plant. And again, it takes the root, the deeper the roots grow, then, the metamorphosis begins to happen and becomes a tree. So, what are the things that they're exposed to in that process of growing up? And I say this all the time. For a girl, a lot of times the first exposure she has to understand safety and security and confidence and love, a lot of times, comes from her father, the father figures that she has.
mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that mothers are they're very instrumental and crucial, as well. But as far as understanding confidence and safety, I can speak personally because, I've been blessed with a daughter as well. And I was very intentional from the time she was born, positive reinforcement and speaking into her. And so before she was 2, I would have this conversation where I'd ask her, who's the smartest girl in the world? What's her name? And she would say, Ariella Bibola Odukoya. Who's the bravest? Who's the most intelligent? Who's the most confident? I did that intentionally because she's grown up associating herself with confidence and intelligence and beauty and bravery and smarts and everything. Who's dad's best? Who's dad's favorite daughter in the whole world? What's her name? Knowing that she's loved and appreciated, and that begins to form the lens through which she sees the world. Letting her know that daddy is always there for her. She knows that there's no barrier in terms of communication, enforcing her with love and positive reinforcement, celebrating her wins, pushing and challenging her, the things that she might shy away from. Now, with my daughter, she's someone that's very confident, but when she's not particularly sure about something, she second guesses herself. What does that look like for me? And I try to push her in those areas. And when she shies away from things that are too hard, to challenge her to do better. And I make her do these things so she understands what it is to overcome obstacles. And when you face difficult situations in life, you either give up or push through. So all those things, I'm very intentional about, how I've groomed my daughter from as a girl, even as far as even Valentine's Day, getting her cakes and gifts and showing her this is what it means to be loved. So Valentine's Day goes by, and if I forget, she's like, Daddy, where is my gift? That is an invitation now, because I have exposed her to that. So when you grow up with that mindset and that mentality where you are confident, you are brave, you are smart, you're intelligent, you can face the world, no obstacles are too big for you to overcome, and you come into womanhood, right? These same principles or these same ideologies have formed and taken root, like the plant that takes root. The deeper the roots go, the stronger the tree. It's taking root in the person that she is. So when she interacts with the world, she's not shying back from any situation or circumstance. She's not expecting to be second best in anything. She expects to rise to every challenge or any situation. As far as how she wants to be treated as a woman, the reference she has of her father, what it means to be a gentleman as far as taking care of her. All of that has formed the woman that she is. And then just being able to surround yourself with people who don't, and understanding, I think, that even society that we're in, understanding the roles that women play in society and the appreciation and the understanding of how key they are to what we even call society. Look at the familial structures, look at what it means to be a woman and a wife and a mother, and I say every man should be a feminist, right? If you have a sister or a mother,
straight up
feminist, because at the end of the day, most men, and I could talk about even men and the relationships they have with their moms, the impacts that have, and that has on them as human beings, but I think as they grow older, unless I segue, let me come back to it. You grow older, you come into society, surrounding yourself with people who see your value, who celebrate your value, who are not intimidated, because you will find people, especially in the world, where you find that sometimes men feel intimidated by successful, strong, powerful women who can speak.
That's true.
And, there's this ideology that a woman is less than a man, if you look at physical makeup, whatever the case, and even that's being challenged, where you have some people who are doing some really crazy things. You have women weightlifters, you have women kickboxers, women fighters. So we talk about strength, and you say that, well, if you look at the physiological makeup, a man has a broader frame, stronger muscles, yes, but if you look at what the threshold of pain, a woman's pain threshold is so much more higher than a man. So we have to beg the question. We talk about strength. Men cannot go through childbirth. Men cannot deal with periods. Men cannot do all the things that women deal with. And so we talk about strength in itself, but I mean, just recognizing the value that women bring to the table. And as a woman, surround yourself with people who celebrate that, and not associate yourself with people who will try to pull you down, or men who, feel intimidated or try to suppress and oppress. But once you come into your own, and you own the space that you're in, you own your individuality, you own the fact that just because you are a woman doesn't mean that you are less than. A man and woman they both have brains. A man's brain is not bigger than a woman's brain. There's nothing about a man's brain that makes it more superior. You have pretty much the same brain, you have the same intellect, you have the same opportunities. I mean, obviously, when I say that with a caveat, because a lot of times we do know that sometimes there's a lot of injustice or balance, if you will, as far as even women and men doing the same job, and women getting paid less for the same jobs, which isn't fair. And obviously that's being fought to change that. But yeah, I think it's just owning your own. But I think you cannot take away the importance of nurture, how you're brought up. I think and the last thing I say before I stop, even when a king is never born a king, right? A king is born and then he's trained how to be a king. So the way he walks, the way he talks, the studies, his exposure, the people that he interacts with, they teach him how to interpret, certain situations, social intelligence, emotional intelligence. How do you handle yourself? All of this comes in nurturing. And it's that environment that creates the king from the time he's a boy. He's groomed to be a king from the time he's a baby. He's a baby, then he's a prince, then he's a king. So I think grooming and nurturing and that environment is very important. I think that sets a woman on her way. Now you have people who don't have the luxury of up in set environments where father figures are there and things are all great and rosy,
True.
And then you have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps through resilience and mental fortitude and experience, of failing and trying again and hard work, and I think experience as well is another factor that makes you who you are, because we're all some of experiences that we have, some of the relationships we have, the places we're exposed to, the people we end up interacting with, the things that life throws at us, because I heard someone say that, life doesn't happen, we don't happen to life happens to us, right? So all these things, make the ingredients that make you who you are, and just the ability to believe in yourself and to see yourself the way that you want the world to see you, because if you don't see yourself as king, no one else will. If you don't see yourself, no one else will. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Because there'll be times, because people will wait for the applause when you succeed, then they want to clap. But while you're in the process trying to push yourself and build yourself and create the empire that you want, no one's clapping because they're waiting for the results. So I think experience as well can be another factor in creating a king, if you will. But it's just learning from the lessons and learning from the failures to position yourself in the place that you want to be. I don't know if anything I said made any sense.
Everything made sense. That's why we was quiet, because we talk over each other. I'm gonna let Sim answer that, but I did want to speak on one thing you said about some people don't have the luxury of like having a father figure in their life. I was one of those girls, which I know I'm a king, because king is really an energy. And I didn't have the luxury of having my dad in my life. And the few times I did see him, he was very abusive to my mom in front of me. So life taught me how to be a king. Like exactly what you said, experience, me being homeless, me having to hustle and fight for everything I would love. And then not only on top of that I'm a female, I'm a black female, then I'm plus size. So that truly fought me, you know what I'm saying? So for me to even be in the position that I am, for sure, I know if it's a word bigger than a king, I feel like I'm that. You know what I mean? Because just from experience and getting through that stuff and like having to support myself so much, and then but I am blessed that I had people around me, siblings, and God giving me siblings like you and other people that actually been in my life that supported me, rooted for me and everything. So I think that's what made me, for sure, will make me a woman king, for sure, because king most definitely is an energy. And you said a lot of cool stuff, but it makes sense. And I was smiling the whole time you was talking about Ariella, because I have so much video of you literally saying this to her. Like he not only just saying this to say this, he literally would stop her, and she was 2, if not younger, and ask her who's the most beautiful girl in the world, who's the most intelligent girl, and she would literally say her whole full entire name. And I have video footage of that all the way up until now, like how she feel about you and how she reacts to you, and it's so beautiful to see that, because you truly are. I don't know if I can say you're a girl dad, because you like I was like that too. You just a dope dad, like so. But to see her interact with you like that, it's gonna be hard for a man to try to play her, like, because she already know what real love is, and it started from the roots and the foundation, like you said about the trees. Tim, do you want to piggyback off that and answer what you think a woman king is? What makes a woman king?
For me, I don't have a girl yet. I don't have a child yet. So I'm going to look at it from the angle of should I use the word a single woman? or a spinster, something like that. I feel this generation, particularly in this part of the world, right? It's a confusing topic or conversation for us because a lot of women still see themselves as, oh, a man has to do a lot of things. A man has to provide, a man has to lead. I'm not saying a man shouldn't lead also, but a lot of these things. So it has made a lot of women more like a property, more like a liability instead of an asset. Uh, most women of my age group, they are so like, okay, where's the next guy? When's the next guy? What will this guy get for me? And it's so belittling for them. And when they see guys may maltreat, disrespect, they want to fight. And in my head is like, you have to pick a struggle. Do you want to prove that you are a man woman, or you want to prove that you are the type of woman, don't let me say useless woman, but the type of woman the message you've been passing across before this man, decide to treat you this way. So for me, a woman king has to be number one, has to be reasonable when it comes to feminism. I'm not saying some people are like extremists when it comes to feminism, but I know it's because of they're fighting for something. Maybe they've been hurt or something. That's why they're so extreme about it. But I think you should be a feminist as a woman. You should be able to stand up for yourself. You should be able to do a lot of things by yourself. PJ used example that even physically, there's a lot of women doing weightlifting, UFC, a lot of women are, and they are pretty much good at it. They won't beat some. I was in a video of this British UFC fighter that did a video with Stormzy. I don't know if you guys saw it. So just Stormzy came to the what's it called, to the fight, and they were at the backstage, making this kind of video, and she actually was almost flipping Stormzy over, as big as he is. So it's just, that's on the physical aspect. Women need to really, really show for themselves that I am a woman. I am not less of a man. I am a woman. I am a man. Just that we have sheep and goats does not mean one is higher than the other. We are human beings. So I just feel that women of let me say spinsters, put it that way, they should really, really should man up and not technically wait for a guy to do a lot of things for them, down to buying your hair for you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my next question, that was good, Sam. So my next question is, Jimmy, have you ever been in a situation where a woman was like disrespected and you had to jump in and flex
all the
your
time?
muscle? Let's talk about it. Give me a situation.
All the time.
Because you are very, like, even me being around, you are very protective. Like, you're a very like jolly person most of the time. Like, all of the time, honestly, you're very naturally happy. Like, person all the time. Everybody like being around you. I'll explain who he is when we get to the next segment. But everybody likes being around you. But you will switch off very quick when you see disrespect. And I wanted you to give an example of a time that you had to jump in and fight for a woman. Like, the woman could be anybody.
So, for me, again, very strong values in the fact that I think that any man who puts his hand on a woman is a coward. If you have anger and you got it like that, go pick on somebody your own size. Don't pick on somebody that's less than you and feel like you're just being a bully, and then you're getting off on the fact that you can oppress. And I can't stand oppression when people use positions of power to oppress somebody less than them because they can. I have a very strong sense of justice when it comes to that. And I think under no scenario circumstance, whatever the case, and you will find those women who will test you as far as I'm one that says don't hit women, but you have women who will get in your face and slap you and punch you. And I've had that happen to me before and I still walked away because of my strong sense of principle when it comes to it. Is you don't, for whatever reason, because some men will say, listen, I ain't gonna touch you, but if you touch me, then you're in fighting territory. Like, if you slap me, then you've asked for it. So whatever you get is what you get. I don't believe that, because at the same time, to much is given, much is required. So generally, I have a very strong sense. I'm very particular, even teaching my son about that. But to answer your question, there've been multiple times. There was a time I was driving down the street. I was going to drop some guys off in Lekki at the gate, and we heard this lady screaming at some guy to give her keys, and she was yelling, "Give me my keys, give me my keys!" And it was quite a scene. And so I pulled over, and whether fortunately, unfortunately, depending on who you ask, I mean, I had a tank top on, and I was quite big at the time, and so I'm not looking very friendly. I don't have a very friendly face, so I mean, I'm a nice guy, but
we know you, Flip.
You can't be a nice guy.
He's still trying to be nice by saying he's a nice guy.
So I happened to be in a tank top or whatever, and so I got out the car anyways, and just wanted to find out what was going on, because for me, if anybody is in help, if you can do something to help anybody in need, do it. If I was in need, I want someone to help me as well. So we pull up, and I'd be like, "What's going on? What's the problem?" And she proceeds to tell us that the said guy was her driver, who apparently they were driving and he was being rude, and she had asked him to park the car and just give her keys, and that she would drive home. And he refused to, and he seized the keys and said he wasn't going to give it to her because she was being rude to him. So I said, "Hold on, sorry. Did you say that this is your driver that you employ and these are your keys?"
That's crazy.
And she said, "Yes." And so I looked at him and I said, "I'm going to count to 5. And before I get to 5, you're going to hand over those keys." I don't want to hear anything first. Before you're going to say anything to me, you're going to hand over those keys. So I proceed to start counting. 5, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3. On 3, he hands over the keys. I'm like, "Okay, now you can talk." And he's like, "I'm a graduate and da-da-da-da-da. I'm a Unilag boy. Can't be disrespected." I said, "Listen, sir, I don't care whether you're a graduate or, like, the fact of the matter is, you've been employed to do work. The reason why you would dare to seize her keys is because she is a woman. If you had a man who wasn't your employee, you would not dare try to seize keys, because he will whoop, and that's not going to fly. So stop being a coward. And I don't care if you've been disrespected. She pays you. She has a right. You don't have no right to hold her keys. It's not your personal belonging. It's hers. She owns it. You have no right to hold on to it. You give her stuff, and then you can deal with your ego later. If you don't want to work with her anymore, that's on you. But you can't hold her stuff, right?" And he's mouthing off, "You don't know who I am. You can talk to me." And I said, "Listen, sir, I really don't care who you are." Like, he's like, "I got people." And I'm like, "Great. Here's my house. I live down the street. Here's my name.
Period.
Pull up. I'll be here.
I'm waiting for you."
Hey, so, and got the lady in her car. She went on her way, and got in my car, went on my way. And he was left yelling. It really didn't matter, but we used that situation. That was one situation that there was no need for physicality. The others, but that's a good one that we should tell.
Yeah. Oh, you being nice. I get you. So, how long ago this was?
Man, maybe it was probably before the pandemic. So probably maybe 20.
And here you are, still here. He never pulled up. It's the moral of the story.
No,
never. He never.
I really didn't expect, because a lot of people talk, and sometimes it's like, let's not. If you want to talk. But if you're gonna knock, you better buck. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be about it, hey, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be about it, be about it. Let's not talk too much. If you're gonna show up to my crib, then whatever you find waiting,
gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, because now you're gonna trespass in my territory, and I gotta protect my family. So whatever happens, it is what it is. So, on God.
On God, Brett. So, Sam, have you ever been in a predicament where you had to protect a woman?
Hey God. So the most recent one was also in Lekki. I think I told you about it. PJ, I think I told you.
I was with you.
Yeah, it was that one. So there was this. We went into PJ, that AM PM supermarket, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so there was
Hold
this.
on, let me tell you, that AM/PM is a problem. Because Jimmy didn't have to check some people at that AM/PM on our coming from church. Jimmy had to
Ah,
check somebody at that AM/PM some years ago. That AM/PM is a problem.
it's
Anyway, go
Uh-huh.
back.
it's annoying. So
Jimmy stay checking somebody, child.
it was
Go ahead.
Tasha just came into Nigeria that day, so we were coming from the airport. So we wanted to buy some stuff at the supermarket. So we got in, and no, Tasha was in the vehicle. I went in alone. Then I had this guy and the security guy. They were just shouting, shouting, and shouting. So I was buying my stuff. Then I was at the counter, dropping my stuff. And as they were clicking it in, so the girl, so I heard what they were saying that, oh, why would you slap me? Why would you slap? I was like, huh? But I was kind of cool. So when I got my stuff, and I asked, I said, did the guy slap you? She said yes. I was like, okay. So I went back into
Jimmy get mad now.
I went back to the car and I dropped my stuff. And I told Tash was a devil that day. I told Tash, I said, this is what happened. I want to go confront this guy about what he did. Then Tash came and was like, oh, she wants to do some recording. She wants to do some recording that is going to be physical.
Tosh, stay being paparazzi out here.
I'm paparazzi Taj. I got so much great footage. Like I could make a whole documentary out of Jimmy's life with these kids, his media runs, everything. Anyway, go ahead. But I do have pictures and footage just to let you know of this incident, guys. I might even put it up.
So I just went to the guy. I asked, did you slap this guy and this girl? He said yes. And I just grabbed him by the pants, and I was just pulling him around. I pulled him from the back to the front. There were some policemen there just watching. Then I asked the girl, I said, I asked the guy that, see, if you don't want me to do anything crazy, this girl must slap you in return. Then people started begging, oh, bro, don't do this. Oh, bro, there's camera. Oh, bro, there's this. Even Tasha was trying to, calm me
I
down.
swear.
And I
I'm trying to calm him down because let me say why. Because you know how the security there too, like it was two big dudes. Not saying it's Simeon because it took them.
There was a club.
But one of they was trying to be intimidating. They was just like, yeah, it's cameras, la da da. And I'm like, yo, but this girl straight got slapped by a man.
The camera was there.
Slapped the fool out of this girl. From what everybody else was saying, like he slapped the crap out of her, like in front of people.
So I was just going around. I was angry. The main reason why I was angry was because it started getting to that point that, oh, they want to speak to the manager first and all those things. The girl shouldn't do anything. The guy shouldn't do anything. And I was like, I know where this is headed. You guys are just going to, oh, sorry, and that is it. And what happened was the guy seized the girl's phone.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It was the girl's phone. And the guy was trying to seize the phone, saying that, I don't even know, maybe they were charging somewhere and he was the one who picked it first. And the girl didn't appreciate him enough for picking the phone. It was something stupid and crazy. But I didn't lay hands because of what the situation. Everybody was like, oh, bro, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But the girl I later come, I was like, oh, bro, don't worry. I know you're fighting for me and stuff, which also take me back to the woman king thing, right? Women should be able to stand for themselves. And so the girl was not afraid because if they were saying that she was telling me that if she slapped the guy in return, they might sack her. And I was like, what about
they should lose her job.
The guy? Are they going to sack the guy? They said no, they're going to see to it. Bro, you can't just come here and be putting down laws and stuff. But what weakened me was when the girl was like, bro, don't worry, thank you, but just leave it, let it slide and stuff.
Yeah, she was begging.
But I was ready to. I was there
because when I walked in, Simeon had to do like this, feet off the ground, and I was just like,
I was.
But the girl was like literally in tears begging.
And the way the more she was begging me, the more angry I became because I knew it was like they're taking advantage of this girl. If it was a guy to guy thing, they would have fought and settled the scores. But because it was a girl and guy, stuff. But that's I think that's the latest. That's the little experience I had.
Baby, Jimmy, our child would have been bailing him out of jail. He would have beat everybody up. He would have fought this. Y'all, he is not violent, but he will. As Kevin Gates said, pin you to the ground. within you. Okay. So I wanted to talk on the Woman King thing on a lighter note. Okay, so the person that we have on here, if you haven't noticed who he is, a lot of people knew him from Nollywood film, big Nollywood films, and Netflix. We like the whole career of that, motivational speaking. Jimmy, I don't think it's nothing that Jimmy have not done. Child fitness, child
lifting SUV,
modeling, child lifting SUVs, traveling the world, adopting me. Like this man's done a lot. His career is very, very, very healthy. And he is very loved by the African continent, like not just Nigeria. On top of like even like pastoring and the youth church, everything he does, everything that's one thing I like about you, bro. I don't think I ever told you that. Anything that you seek out to do, you do it. And you do it with your whole heart. Even if you, I don't care if it has to come to an end, you do it with your full heart. I love that about you. Like it ain't nothing that you wanted to do that you have not done. I remember even having a conversation with Jimmy about being in Hollywood, and he literally said, "I'll be in Hollywood." This was, I think we was all at the house pretty much coming out of being ill.
Yeah.
And I was going back to the States to work for Devotion. And me and Jimmy had conversation day into the sun come up, which we always do that anyway, and watch Ratchet TV. We won't advertise for free what we watch anyway. But and me and him was talking, and I remember he had been saying it, but it was this particular night. He said, I'm talking, I felt it in my soul. He was like, I'm being Hollywood. And I'm gonna go in another way. Like I'm gonna go in the back door. I ain't gonna go in the way everybody go. Cause Jimmy don't do everything what everybody do. He don't trend in the way that everybody trend. And here we are. This man is in Hollywood. I'm talking about not lightweight. He didn't come in lightweight doing some little cheap film or little whatever. He came in straight Viola Davis.
He grabbed the snake.
He literally grabbed Hollywood like this and wrote it.
Oh God,
like
man.
Yo, first it wasn't nobody but God. It was
did
anything he said, God did. Like Kelly dropped the song at the right time. He literally said this, and it was he had been saying it, but this particular night I felt the difference, and I knew it. And I was like, bro, you already in the door. The way he spoke, and here we are. This man is Hollywood. We're like in Hollywood. On this film, and this film is about to drop. I'm not going to ask you how it all happened and nothing because I already know the story, but I do want you to tell us the difference. What's the difference between being in Hollywood and Nollywood? Because you actually can speak on it now. What's the difference? You can do the pros and cons or just the pros, but what's the difference to you from going from Nollywood to Hollywood?
So I mean, first, I mean, definitely if you want to talk about, let's start with the experience. I think one of the things that I will say is obviously being on a set on the Woman King, just the experience, the quality of it all, and I'm sure Nollywood would say if we had more budget, we probably would, because again, we only have limited as our structure back home and distribution, and there has to be a market that's available for the product that you're creating. So
True.
No one's going to go spend 8 months shooting a movie. How much money does that cost? And then when you put it in the system that we have back home, how do we recoup that money back? Because from an investment perspective, so we're quite limited in terms of structures, and we have to find platforms that are willing. So when the Netflix and the Amazons have come, who are more internationally, it gives a room for us to try to do those 3-4 month projects, because we know that there is a platform that is willing to not only fund, but we have the opportunity to recoup our monies from revenues based on the scale and scope of the project. So the very first thing that was a big differentiating factor was scale and scope. I did this project for about 5 months, and just so many moving parts. It's like a car. There's so many parts that make up the car. The car is not the engine. It's not the chairs. It's not the tires. It's not the engine oil. It's not the wheels. There's so many things that make, it's not the chassis of the car. It's not the carburetor. It's not the radiator. All these things come together to make the car what it is. And so you have different departments, logistics, crew accommodation, props, and costume and pre-production. There's so many things happening, and just to be part of that process was mind blowing. And I'll say that once you see it, you cannot see it, right? Just the level of excellence and the dedication and the time that it takes. So we're shooting in Hollywood, we're shooting sometimes 20 scenes a day, depending if you're shooting for TV. If you're shooting for cinema, maybe 4 or 5 scenes a day. But, Hollywood, you can do a whole 12-hour shoot. We can shoot 2 scenes or 1 scene, 2 scenes.
If 2 scenes,
If that,
exactly.
depending on
Yep.
the type of scene and the landscape and what it takes to bring this to, and so just the level of the scale and scope and excellence is one big thing that, was just beautiful. And the level of talent that you're working with, because again, most of this project you're shooting internationally and dealing with different talents from all across the world. One thing Hollywood has shown me is they will go to whatever length to get what they want. Very specific about what they want. And if you have what they're looking for, they'll go to whatever length to get you there. So acting alongside, and it's a difference between Nollywood and Hollywood, I think, is the barriers to entry in Nollywood is very low. Anyone can be an actor back home. Do you look good? Can you speak well? If you're a woman and you light skin, you got a body.
Period.
Influencer. If you just come from abroad, whatever the case is, if you have numbers, you just come from Big Brother or whatever, you want to act, but you get in the game, right? I'm not saying it's easy to make it because there's so many people trying to make it as an actor back home, and I mean there are a lot of productions going on, but it's so many people trying to make it, but the barriers to get in is very low. Yeah. So that in itself, it makes it very what's it called? Easy to become an actor, if you will, in Nollywood. But in Hollywood, it's definitely different because everybody's a trained actor, right? The average person is excellent because they've trained. They have training from school, whether it's theater or film. And so when you're being compared to other actors for casting, you're being compared to actors from all across the world. It's not a thing of just within your industry. It's all back home within the circle of the leading men or leading women. You have casting directors in the UK, in the US, depending on in South Africa, and wherever the project's gonna be. And so you're being compared to a lot of other people. I think also the interesting thing I've come to find, I'm so blessed on how I've come in, but what it takes to make it in Hollywood is completely different. Right. The different stages that it takes. First of all, you have to be lucky enough to be able to get an agent. And with agents, you don't approach them, they approach you. You can fish and put your stuff up, but an agent decides, okay, I see something that I'm willing to take on. So first of all, to get your foot in the door, you have to have an agent. Now, the agent has to be able to have the good, right connections to connect with casting directors that, when auditions come out for big projects or whatever the case is, whether it's film or TV, then you hopefully get an audition or opportunity to audition. Not everybody gets the opportunity to audition. If they decide that they want to see you audition, then they send you sides for you to audition. If you're lucky to get an audition and you send it in, the casting directors are getting so many tapes from different agents. They decide, they whittle down which ones they want to push to production based on what they've got in that they think production want to see. Production looks at it. If you make it and say, okay, cool. They whittle that down again, and then they decide who they want to see. And if you're lucky to get a call back, then you get a call back. Now, this process can last. It's not like a quick thing. It can be 3 months. It could be 4 months. There's no length of time between callbacks and when you submit. Sometimes you never hear anything back. Sometimes you're lucky to hear stuff back. If you're lucky to get a call back, then great. And then from the callback, there's no guarantee that you're going to get it because, again, they're still whittling down. And so the process in itself is grueling. And so the difference in Nollywood and Hollywood, I think the biggest difference is the waiting. In Nollywood, you're shooting so much, you're getting work back to back to back to back to back because that's the way the system works. It's more about quantity back home, continually shooting. So if you're a good actor or you establish, you're always on set shooting back to back. In Hollywood, you don't know when your next project is going to be. It can be 6 months. It could be a year. It can be 2 years, depending on what you're trying to do. It can be 3 months if you're lucky, whatever the case is. But the difference is obviously the money you get paid. Obviously, if you have a good agent, it should be able to tide you over till the next project, whatever
exactly.
it is. But it's just definitely the waiting is completely different, the time, but also, again, just the experience. And, I've been privileged to see some clips from the Woman King. You know, it's just really cool. You know, just the preparation process as well. You
It's
know, the
crazy, yeah.
scenes is completely different. You know, we're doing action stuff, so stunt training with different weapons, how you shoot it, stacking, execution. You know, things are changing on the whim, being able to stay in character. It's a whole different, level.
I
You
was
know,
gonna speak on that too, because you were trained by like some world known, like world renowned people.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if people paid attention. You posted a clip of behind the scenes, and everybody got trailers, which is complete. You know, I work in Hollywood, so I know about trailers and stuff. You had number 8 on there, and a lot of people don't understand that. I explained it to one of your friends back home too. When I was like, I don't know if you understand what number 8 is. Like that's in the top. When you're looking at a call sheet,
yeah,
you got the top people that's in there. This dude is on the top list, and everybody else is like not even listed. It's like if he number 8, he's most definitely. And I'm looking dead at some of my old call sheets right here. Like he's at the top. Like he's one of the principals. So that's why I had to explain. Like even like you said, in Nollywood to Hollywood, like the principal, it's like this person is a popular person, so they know, but not principal. They don't get that treatment and stuff like that. Even I ain't gonna even lie, even extras get cool treatment too. It's still it's levels to it, like you said.
yeah.
But to see the training that you had to go through months of training, keeping stuff confidential is real big in Hollywood. That's why a lot of stuff I work on. If anybody would know, it'd be y'all, but it'd be y'all had to be strict, not say nothing, because even like the thing I'm working on now, I've been working on it almost 6 months, and we have to keep everything. Like I got so much video and footage and stuff, but I can't post none of that stuff. Like, and in Nollywood, you literally can take a picture while
Posting
you on
the
set.
day.
Yeah, all the day.
Yeah.
Y'all shoot in the middle of this shoot, and you up there.
All the film.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that in Hollywood at all. So that I could even say that just for me being a crew, that is way different in that way. But I watched you go from like you were very particular about roles you took in Nollywood as well. And it had to represent certain stuff for you. It had to mean something for you. You just ain't take a lot of roles just to be popular. But you got more calls than you called out. Like I don't even remember you ever reaching out for a role. People always reached out to you, and I was a witness for a lot of this.
Yeah.
So I know that when they found you when they reached out to you for the Woman King, I already know they seen your work. Like they seen your work ethnic. You weren't playing the same stuff. You was tapping into different emotions. You were showing a variety of character. So that's another thing I think that's very, very important when you doing Nollywood versus Hollywood. Like you literally have to have a variety of character too, which you possess it anyway. And then you just very strong willed about what you will and won't do. But then it's crazy because you got this role, and this role was really you. Like it's like you love action. You love action, and you such a boss. Like you love action. So okay, the next question I have, and Sim, you can ask question, but the next question I have is, okay, the role that you got, what can we expect?
Well,
give us the tea first.
Expect to be hated. People gonna hate me because my character is hit. So it's like two sides of a coin, because in some ways he's me in terms of physicality, but he is not me. Everything I stand against, because he's beating on women and enjoying it. You know, and so even when I was filming in between, I'd apologize to Viola. I'm like, "Are you guys okay? I'm so sorry. So sorry. I'm gonna action. You okay?"
Yeah.
You know, I remember there was one of the fighting sequence. I had to slam somebody, and she was her name was Kiki. She was a female stunt person, and they're like, "You need to drive her to the ground." I'm like, "Guys," and they had a mat there, but I was like, so every time I'll do it, they're like, "We can still see that you're holding back," because I'll take it and I'll just slow it down and try to guide her. Like, no, you need to throw her, and it did like 4 or 5 times, and I felt really bad. And you know, I mean, there was a mat, but then you throw, and then I think she even hurt her, you know, but her tailbone, because landing on her tailbone, which is not great, but you know, it was a struggle to override that natural instinct. Because for me, just fighting women, even in rehearsal, I'm like, "Guys, don't worry, I'll do it on the day." But I'm like, just let me. It was very uncomfortable for me to, you know. But he's not going to be liked, and you know, it's the Woman King. They've really played up the female narrative and highlighted all the women. And my character is just he's the arch nemesis of Viola's character. Yeah, he's not gonna be like
You most definitely is the protagonist in this thing. I seen
yes,
he was even on, I seen the clip and I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
Sam, you got a question? Sam, you got a
Um,
question?
the question because while he was talking, I've been thinking about, Nollywood, right?
Right.
I've been on set with him a couple of times, and I do complain, I do complain to him. But you said something, you said over here, which is true. If you have money, if you're fine, if you have body, if you're light skin and all those stuff, you can basically be in a movie, right? Or be an actor. So now that you're in a different space now,
Right.
what do you think? Because apparently what you're saying now is more than all those stuff. It's more than the money. Is even technically I can say it's even more than I can act, even if truly you can act, right? So what will you say we need to do in Nollywood aside from, oh well, you're fine, you have the money, you have the budget and everything? What will you say we need to develop our craft over here?
Well, I
It's
think
deep.
first of all, I think it's important that bypassing all those things is casting. Like I think casting is very important. When you cast the right person, 70% of the job done before he does any acting. Whatever person you're casting must fit the role that you are casting for. And they're very particular about that in Hollywood. If they're looking for a skinny, balding guy who looks very lanky, they're not going to get a big dude to play that role. It defeats the purpose. If they want somebody who speaks with a Southern accent versus a transatlantic accent or a Jamaican accent or a plain English, like they're very particular, and they're not going to compromise because everything is important to telling the story, right? And I think it's important that we focus on the story. A lot of times, I think Nollywood we focus on who can pull in the crowd or who has more.
Who can carry?
Yeah, who has more, who has followers on the gram, who's you're
Yeah.
thinking about numbers, who dragging people in, and a lot of times the craft suffers. It taints the craft because you have to focus on the story itself. And I think one of the things that separated me from other actors in Nollywood, and I say that not talking down on anybody, just
Oh, we know.
was definitely my work ethic and always giving 120%. For me, any project that I was on, it became my project. I didn't care if I was an actor. I became the producer if I had to be, the props person if I had to be, sometimes director if I had to be, script editor if I had to be, costumier if I had to be, whatever it took. Because sometimes handyman fixing the generator because it's shut down, or getting location manager because we need a place to shoot and they don't have it. Whatever it takes to make the project a success, I was willing to do. And I had somebody say, if you're not willing to go over and beyond than what you're paid, you never be paid more than you ever earned. Because if the mentality is, if you don't give me money, I'm not going to do, then you're never going to get to the point where you're getting paid more than you're doing, right? Because at the end of the day, for me, the value that I brought as an actor in Nollywood was I was willing to do any and everything. And my dedication to my craft and excellence, personal dedication to excellence, what it took to become the character. I was very particular about how the character was presented, because at the end of the day, to be true and authentic to the story, the same things that had to happen. There was time when I costumed myself for a project. I brought about 14 suits because this character was a power dresser and I knew they didn't have what it took. I brought about 14 suits, different shirts and ties combination from my own wardrobe, because I'm like, you guys don't have what it takes to do it. The many times I've used my cars as props, the many times I've done
I was just about to say your cars and everything.
I know.
I've done so many things, but for me, it's about, that dedication to excellence and authenticity to your character, and having that respect for it. And even in Woman King, you know, I had the conversations that I had them change my name, my character name, because as far as authenticity, you know, the character that they had was not authentic as far as the representation of a Yoruba man. So we had the conversation, and I'm so thankful that they were willing to took that on board and implemented it. But it's because I've been doing it, I was able to do it. So people think that when I get my big opportunity, I'm just going to just step up and be excellent. You can't produce what you don't have. It's because I've been doing it all along. I was able to do it on the big stage. And I realized that I wasn't doing anything different. The stage was just different. But my work ethic was the same. My output was the same. The platform was different. So I've been doing what I've been doing, but now I'm doing what I was doing in Nollywood in Hollywood. And I was able to hang and produce and do what I needed to do. So, sorry, my kids.
It's fine. Oh, my babies.
As a boy, I'm on a Zoom recording. Okay, I told you not to come in here.
I love them.
I'll be done in a second. Go away, Azza. I'll be there shortly.
We let him go in a minute, nephew. Okay.
But yeah. Hold on.
No, but you. Oh, okay, go ahead. You good? See, this is why we. I loved he being a dad.
There you go.
I love it.
Whew.
Sorry about that.
No, you good.
Thank you.
So yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much what you know, it's just being able to deliver, you know, when you're on those things, but it comes from being able to do it on the small stages. You know, every opportunity is a big opportunity. You know, you never know when the opportunity is going to come, and you know, so just being able to be on this side of it, you know, has given me a big appreciation, I think, for my experiences. And one thing I will say is, you know, never despise humble beginnings. You don't know where it's going to take you. It was because I was
exactly.
And I remember there were times when, like Sim has said, he'd been on set with me and certain situations, and he'd be like, not happy about things. I'm like, listen, it's timing is everything. There's a time that the time will come when it won't be like this, right? You know, and you just got to be aware of times and seasons. Like, it's okay. We know where we're going, you know, and just to be on this side of it, you know, I'm very thankful. And, you know, for me, it's like, I was in the aquarium. Now I'm in the ocean. All right, let's swim. What's going on? And when you're in the ocean, the different things that weren't in the aquarium, you got different sharks now. You got different obstacles that you're gonna have to overcome. You know, but I'm willing. You know, I'm ready. I'm like, I keep saying they don't mess around and let me in Hollywood, so we coming, right? So
it's over with.
You know, we focus, we ready, and yeah. So yeah. So
if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
You know what I'm saying?
I will literally say that about you. You literally. I mean, I remember one year on my birthday, you sent me. You and Cam sent me some stuff, and I remember you was so fresh. I was like, brother, what's wrong? He was like, they done wrecked my car. I'm on set, and I didn't use my car. They done wrecked my car, and I was like, this man's so dedicated. Like, I'm even looking back. There's so many other instances I could talk about, and like now all of that stuff is paying off. Like in such a major way, but you, like I said in the very beginning, you've never given anything less than 100 and 200%. You've never given anything, I don't care how small it was. You've never given anything less. Your list, and I feel like that's what got you through the door too. Most definitely, God, and you, faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
Period. Okay, y'all. So we're not going to get into the movie too much. I know he can't tell a lot. But he did tell us the tea. And it's a segment that we got called Customs and Convos. So on this show, we talk about sneakers and stuff like that. You know, I'm a big sneakerhead.
Should we come back again? Because we have time.
What time?
8 minutes more.
Oh, we can do it at 8 minutes.
Okay.
So we have, we talk about sneakers and stuff all the time too, because you know I'm a sneakerhead. And I know, what's your favorite shoe of choice? I think you like Converse.
Yeah, now I'm in my Converse phase. You know, there was back in the day with the Air Force Ones. I still got some, you know, Air Force Ones, and but I'm in Converse. It's just nice, it's sleek, it's slender, it works. So
Converse. It works with everything. You can wear with suits and everything. I love Converse. I'm a big Converse person too.
Yeah.
So today, normally I give I gift the guest something for themselves, but being in the spirit of the woman king, I'm gifting a very special lady in your life something through you. You already know who it is for. Sister Ariella. Some
Oh, that
LOL
is
dolls. You
so
see your name?
cool.
Odukoya.
Oh, I should love that.
So
It's
these
a
are
brat.
LOL
It's the
doll Pumas.
LOL. Ooh.
Yes, hello.
Pumas, baby.
Oh, hold on. Can I go get her?
Yeah, yeah,
Please.
yeah.
She's about to be happy. I love that baby.
She'll be wanting to come to Nigeria so she can get it already.
I love her.
Come on. All right, hold on.
Hey, baby girl. Look what I got you. LOL doll sneakers. And look what it says.
Odukoya.
And this comes off. You see?
Hold on. Let me see if I can get the. Let me see if how I can. Hold on. Let me make sure I have Tasha's.
What?
Tasha's.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
are you
yeah.
doing?
Okay, wait. How do I switch? Because it's stuck on Simeon's face right now. And Tasha.
shoot.
No, change the
Slide
view.
over.
Let me change the view. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because Simeon's speaking, and so we can't eat. So, but we should switch to Tasha.
Yeah, it should be all of us on there.
Yeah.
That's
there
how
it
I
is.
got it.
All right. Okay. Cool.
All right. So you see this, Ariella? This is one of the LOL doll faces, and it comes off, so you don't have to wear it on your sneakers all the time. And these are Pumas. They really cool. Got the LOL doll thingy, and I put your last name. You see?
Ooh.
Yeah, she said
The other shoe will have your first name on there. So
Isn't that cool?
It says Ariella Odukoya.
Yes, that's
Come on,
so
girl.
cool.
You better say that last name.
Look at that.
I love you, girl. I miss you.
Miss you too.
That's so cool. Thank you. Say thank you to Natasha.
Thank you, Auntie Tasha.
All right, you guys
No
go.
problem.
I'm gonna come do it now.
Yeah,
right,
so yeah, I normally gift the guest, but in the spirit of the woman king, and she is one of your little women kings.
Yeah.
I wanted to gift her something.
That's
you know
really
I love my baby.
that's dope. Appreciate you, Tasha. It's very
yes,
cool.
yes. So
That's
yes,
good.
thank you, Jimmy, for taking our time in your schedule. I know you're getting ready. The premiere is coming up too, y'all. We got 2 weeks. Be counting down. 2 weeks to this premiere. Where you doing the premiere at? Could you tell us that?
So there is the premiere at TIFF, that's Toronto International Film Festival. So it's going to be in Canada. So everyone's going to be there. And then there's going to be a premiere, I think, back home as well. Because it's all coming out on the same day in Nigeria. So I'm sure they'll have a premiere on the 16th or a week before. I don't know when they're having that one. I'm sure they'll
okay.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm grateful to God for you. I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna wait till I get off this, then I'll cry. You know I'm a crybaby, but I thank God for stuff happening in your life. I seen this from the beginning and what it was gonna be. Mm-hmm. And I knew, I don't know, this is just the beginning. Like it ain't even started yet. Like if you coming in like that, imagine what you came in hard. You're like, you going hard in the paint. And I appreciate you too, even for taking care of me and being there for me and doing this for me. Like, I appreciate you.
I got you, sis. I love you.
I know you do. I love you too. And yeah,
I love you too.
We'll be styling him up. We blocking Sam. We'll be styling him up, y'all.
Yeah.
We about to have some cool stuff on.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah,
I'm happy about this. So yeah, I'm ready. I send Ariella shoes with your stuff, and we in there. So yeah, we signing out. Oh, one thing, last thing before it clocks out.
Yeah.
Tell me one thing you're grateful for and why.
Grateful for God, because I think at the end of the day, I'm just so thankful for God because, he's just been, God has been the difference maker in my life. I have the things I've dared to believe for, the things that I've dared to do, where people thought it was impossible, people said it wouldn't happen, and just that belief and faith in God and the doors that he's opened. And thankful for the doors he's closed and the places he's positioned and the things he's shown me. And how he's always faithful to his word. You know, he'll tell me things, so many things, from the people that I'm surrounding myself with now to the people that I'm in contact with, the people that I talk to on a daily, to conversations that I'm having. You know, it's crazy because at one point this was a dream, right? And it's just, I'm so thankful that he's always been there. You know, he's always been faithful, consistent. You know, even when I've not been. And, you know, a lot of times I'm fully aware that everything that I have and the things that continue to happen in my life, I'm simply a product of grace. You know, grace, grace that separates, that accelerates, that covers, that protects, that propels, you know. So I'm not under any false pretense that this is all because I'm talented or I'm strong or I'm dedicated. There are many talented people that never get the opportunity. There are many, you know, that don't get the opportunity to showcase that. You know, many strong people that don't get the opportunity to show their strength. You know, many dedicated people that don't get the chance to live their dreams. You know, I tell people that I didn't choose acting. Acting chose me. This was not the plan. You know, and I know many people who are my reality. Current reality is their current prayer point, which is very humbling. You know, I'm where a lot of people are praying to be, and I don't take that for granted. So I'm grateful for God because He keeps showing up for me, and He's never let me down. So, you know, that's what I'm grateful for. Is God. Yeah.
That is good.
Hey, thank you very much, PJ.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
So you can get back to the baby.
Yeah. I'm back to daddy daycare. You know,
back to the baby.
I'm about to go make some dinner for the kids. Listen, I've been cooking up a storm, bro.
That's good, and it's better for you anyway.
Yeah, I ain't about that life, but I gotta do it.
I feel you. I'll be reaching out this week. I love you. I'll reach out to you this week and show you what I'm sending and stuff. Right. We'll talk.
All right. Bye, Sam. Good to see you, bro. Take it easy, man.
Thanks, PJ.